Yasser Allah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shema, Yasser Allah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shema, Yasser Allah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakudash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, I was the high spirit we in Judah, and today I want to go into a live stream entitled Alma Earth, meaning Mother Earth, will be going back natural in the kingdom. Alma Earth or Mother Earth is going back natural in the kingdom. All right, so the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai in the scriptures personify Earth as a woman, as they say in modern society, Mother Earth. I know Gad looked at her. Gad looked at her as Mother Earth because Gad is one of the tribes of the nation of Israel who maintained the history of their fathers and to a certain extent the traditions of their fathers going back to our forefather Jacob. Okay, Mother Earth will go back natural. All right, there are certain scriptures in the Bible, specifically Isaiah 61, Isaiah 60. There are a lot of scriptures that tell you, they foretell the state of the planet Earth is going to be in. All right, in the kingdom. All right, and when I would read Isaiah 60 and I would read a part of Isaiah 61, I would ask myself, like, if this is the kingdom, you know, we gonna get rid of technology? Are we gonna get rid of automobiles? Are we gonna get rid of, the way things are? Because society will have you think that the automobiles is like a one up on nature. It's like a one up on camels. It's a one up on horse chariots. But as I'm evolving in this truth, I've realized that the things that you create, all right, has to be in sync with nature. It has to coexist with nature. Something that I've read was that 90% of air pollution within the cities come from car pollution. 90% of air pollution come from car exhaust. All right, when you drive, and of course it's like the exhaust fumes from the pipe, the tailpipe. Okay, so when you got big cities like New York, big cities like Los Angeles, all right, and it's so bad that it creates something called smog, SMOG. All right, it causes something called smog, SMOG, which is basically all the air pollution, all right, that you can actually see when you go to a bigger city, and it's so bad that it kills a few hundred people a year. Like every city, with just in that downtown area, just people die yearly from premature death from air pollution. All right, not to mention cars mess up the infrastructure or on the pavement. All right, another unnatural thing is a pavement. All right, so two things that comes to mind is cars, these big buildings, these nuclear plants. All these things are inconsistent with nature. All right, and there's a term called agrarianism. I think that's how you say agrarianism. All right, and that's basically a philosophy that um, upholds agriculture over industry. All right, and that's the nature of the kingdom. The kingdom is going to uphold agriculture over industry. All right, through World War III. All right, through the coming of Yahweh, industry from the Industrial Revolution. All right, the capitalism. All right, mass producing things, mass slavery, just overworking your workers to meet a demand. All rooted in greed is going to be destroyed, man. All right. So Babakashah, if a brother could get Isaiah 61 and 5, and a brother can also get Isaiah 60, where it says, I think Isaiah 60 and 7, I could be wrong, how your son's going to come from afar. Because one thing that's mentioned a lot in future prophecy is ships, okay? But believe it or not, Earth is going to slow back down. We're going to go back to agriculture, all right, as opposed to industry or the industry culture, however you want to say it, okay? Everything's going to get back slow. So transportation, we know we're going to have chariots, and we know there's going to be interplanetary travel. But even when we have interplanetary travel, and we're transporting other nations to other planets, guess what they're going to be doing? They're going to be cultivating crops on those different planets. Whatever the resource is, we're going to use those other nations to cultivate those resources. The water, my brother. All right, this is Isaiah 60 and 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahweh thy power, unto the Holy One of Israel, because he have glorified thee. All right, verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and the kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy. But why does it mention ships in future prophecy? Because the main trading instrument and the main traveling instrument, especially intercontinental speaking, are with ships. All right. Like I said, we're gonna have chariots, and they're gonna have their use. And I don't know the specifics besides transporting or interplanetary travel, because the scriptures don't really get real specific about the use of the chariots. But we do know that we're gonna have ships. So what does that indicate? The Earth is gonna slow back down. All right. How everything is hyper fast and hyper convenient, all right, that's inconsistent with Earth. Because in order for something to be hyper fast and hyper convenient, such as like an Amazon package coming to your door, somebody got to get slaved in them little Amazon plants. All right, in order for you to have millions and millions of cars out in America on these parking lots in America, somebody got to get slaved out on those production lines. All right, in order to pull up to a drive-through window and get your fast food, if you want to call it food, somebody got to slave it out in them kitchens, in those kitchens. Somebody got to get underpaid to make sure that you get that stuff cheap, and then it has to be the cattle has to get manufactured like it's a product on the assembly line. Their growth has to be accelerated. They have to get injected with all type of hormones. They have to get mistreated. All right, it says in the scriptures that basically a righteous man have care of his livestock. All right, that's in Proverbs. I'm chopping it up, but you know what I mean. All right, a righteous man has care of his livestock, man. So you have something called air pollution, which comes from these automobiles, and you also have something called noise pollution. All right, you have something called noise pollution that comes from these big cities, man. Big cities like New York, big cities like Los Angeles, man. All right, so I don't know the specifics of the new innovations we're going to have in the kingdom, but it's going to be consistent with nature. Well, there's a word called agrarianism. I think that's how you say it, agrarianism or agrarian, which is basically a culture of agriculture. All right, we're going to have an agriculture culture, all right, or agrarianism, man, which is a philosophy that puts agriculture over industry and also associates spirituality and morals with agriculture. Now, there's a reason why Yahweh Shai, almost all of his parables were going right back to what agriculture. We're going right back to fishermen, all right, because it's actually superior over this industrial revolution that we're living, all right, where everything is mass produced, but the earth is mass raped, mass stripped of her resources, all right. Jake and the other nations got to go in slavery to produce a product at a hypersonic speed, all right, and that creates mass death and that creates premature death, all right. Brother sent me an article that people who don't take at least 1 year vacation have like a 30% increase chance of having a heart attack or heart related failure, heart related death, right? Just because you work all fucking year. And that's why the scripture says that this particular beast, right, is going to wear out the saints of the Most High. America is the most worked country, man. All right? You have to remember, we had an agricultural culture or agrarian culture. Agrarian culture. I think it's agrarian culture. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but I just say we had an agriculture, right? An agriculture culture, right? And guess what? During the winter time, you didn't farm, you didn't till the land, so that means you had at least 3 months off, man. And at the final fruit, at the end of harvest, you just preserve everything. That's why you made different preservatives. Even old Jake in the country, they made preservatives, man. All right, you had storehouses for your food. All right, so you could eat throughout the duration of the winter. But what does that tell you? You had the winter off. You had the winter off, man. So you had at least 3 months off, man. All right, but that was superior than all right. You in the tech society. You in industrial society, or you have your little car, or you have your little apartment. You got all your kids in your house or in your apartment, but you working just to go back to work. You're working just to get paid to put the energy back in your stomach and the back of your vehicle to go right back to work. All right? And in a lot of these cities overseas, all right, like in the Netherlands, certain parts of China, they have whole cities where nobody drives vehicles because it's deleterious to the atmosphere, man. It's deleterious or it's a hazard to the people. All right, and it's an inconvenience for the people. All right, this is First Kings 9 and 26. And King Solomon made a a navy of ships in Eziongeber, which is beside Elah, on the shore of the Red Sea in the land of Edom. All right, and Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen. They had knowledge of the sea with the servants of Solomon. Hey, that's a beautiful scripture, brother. King Solomon made a navy of ships. So we're going to go back to that ship culture. Now, we still have things brought here by way of ships now to the shores of America. All right, that's why you have the Panama Canal, which is a shortcut for ships because America is an import country, and most people are consumers. But I can only speculate in the kingdom. You're going to have exclusively ships. All right, as far as intercontinental transport, man. All right, as far as the nations bringing us different things, man, it's going to come from ships. All right, because ships are consistent with nature. Ships are eco-friendly. Okay, and of course we're not going to be doing it. We're going to have slaves are in the fields, man. All right. See, Isaiah 45 and 18. All right, I like that scripture too. Shalom to you, brother. For thus saith Yahweh, that created the heavens, the Most High Himself that formed the earth and made it. He have established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. All right, and the brother has 1 Kings 9:28, and they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold 420 talents and brought it to King Solomon. And Ophir is America. All right. My brother could get Isaiah 61 around the 5th verse. All right? Because like the brother Yakanan for the Memphis camp, y'all should tap into that Memphis camp too. All right? But everything that you need on the planet Earth is already on the planet Earth. He just brought up the scripture. The Most High created the earth to be inhabited. So he put everything on earth to suit your needs and your wants. All right? That's why it says in Sirach, I believe it's the 21st chapter, or brother could get that, the principal things for the whole use of man. All right, I might have that scripture wrong, but it's the principal things for the whole use of man. All right, here we go. Isaiah 61 and 5, the water. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks. So you mean to tell me this is the future? It's the future. All right, and so we're not gonna have no fucking plants, no fucking industries. We're not gonna have capitalisms. We're not gonna have no Burger King. All right, we're not gonna have a McAllister's. All right, we're not gonna have a Piccadilly. All right, we're gonna go back to agriculture. All right, the foundation is gonna be agriculture, and either or agriculture or horticulture. I believe that's when you actually raise cattle. Brothers can always verify and look it up because I read some of this before I do a live stream, and by the time I do a live stream, it'll slip my mind. All right, but it's Isaiah 61 and 5. It says, "And strangers shall stand and feed your flock. The strangers are the other nations, and the sons of the aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers." Now, what do you do with a plowman? The plowman tills the land to cultivate the crops. The vine dressers are people that cultivate the grape yards or the vineyards. All right, and I read that again. Brothers got it again. Isaiah 61 and 5. "And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien should be your plowmen and your vine dressers." All right, so it's not gonna be no more fast food, brothers. All right, everything is gonna slow down, bro, and we're gonna go back to this natural state, which is why I named the title "Through the Spirit." Mother Earth is gonna go back natural, like a woman goes natural. All right, so we're not gonna have industries that's deleterious to creation, deleterious to man, deleterious to the nation of Israel, deleterious to earth. And that's important. If it wasn't important, why did it say in Isaiah 14 how the fir tree is going to rejoice when this man gets out of power? All right? The water, my brother. All right, the water, my brother. Sirach 39:26. It was Sirach 39:26, and I stand corrected. The principal thing for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. And all these things, best believe, are going to get mined and they're going to get cultivated. All right, water is self-explanatory. All right, but iron is a main metal in creation. It's a very important metal in creation. That's where you get your tools. All right, and in that form of technology. All right, it says in salt. All right, and you can look up the benefits of salt, man. All right, but salt is one thing is preservatives. We're not gonna have electric freezers, man. All right, I don't know specifically how it's gonna play out in the kingdom, but I know through the spirit, I believe through the spirit, everything's gonna go back to nature. All right, but salt has many great benefits. All right, all right, flour of wheat. Well, that's bread. And there's so many things you set the tone with bread. It says honey and milk is very vital in a natural world. All right, not this fake $2 gallon milk, $5 gallon milk, but actual goat milk, sheep milk it's highly nutritious. The blood of the grape, which is wine and oil and clothing, right? And our clothing is going to be down to the ankles, our dashikis. We're not going to call them dashikis, but things like that, man. It's going to be very royal and very regal. All right. We're not gonna, you're not gonna have a trend that comes and go. We're just gonna have a style, man. All right, Isaiah 2:4, and he shall judge among the nations. Oh my goodness, I didn't even think of this one, brother. And he's Isaiah 2:4. He shall judge among the nations, all right, and shall rebuke many people. Ultimately, that's Yahweh Shai, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So we're going to go from a nation that manufactures artillery for warfare, or these different nations, but they're going to beat their swords into plowshares, meaning their economy is going to shift back to a agricultural economy. All right, agriculture is going to be the way of the world, man. All right, agriculture is going to be the way of the world. And as a matter of fact, with Bakasha, I know y'all brothers probably busy, but I said the word agrarian or agrarianism, agrarianism. But if a brother has space, if you could just put that word on the internet or on a comment board, agrarianism, just for edification to make sure if I did say it wrong, brothers know what I'm talking about. But it's another word for agricultural culture, agrarianism, and that's basically a philosophy in which you value agriculture over industry. So if you've ever read Isaiah 60, if you've ever read Isaiah 61 and wondered, okay, this is the future, this is going to be the kingdom of heaven, why are they talking about cattle? Why are they talking about goats and sheep? All right, because we're going to go back to nature. All right, we're going to have our chariots, and of course the kingdom is going to have its innovations. All right, but all the innovations are going to be consistent with nature. All right, but the brother brought out Isaiah 45, earth was meant to be inhabited. So everything you need is already here. All right, these automobiles. Let me flip it right quick. Let me flip that camera. This is a hazard to Earth. It's being made to be a necessity, but these automobiles are a hazard to Earth, man. Okay, it's a hazard to Earth. All right, that's why the scriptures mention camels, horse chariots. That's why the scripture mentions ships, man. All right, everything's gonna slow down. That fast-paced hustle and bustle, that's gonna be a thing of the past, man. All right, you're gonna have imports and exports to these countries, but it's gonna be slower. All right. See, now it's fast, but that convenience come at a price. That convenience come with basically stripping the earth of her nutrients. All right, stripping the earth of her resources and working the shit out of his workers. Mainly Israel, working the shit out of his workers, man. It's just modern day slavery, man. It's a modern day pyramid. Capitalism is just a modern day pyramid, man, in which the slaves, Jake, they they labor for nothing. All right, but that's pretty much the point. I am at work. I'm on the job. I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai, by Shalom Kakwadash, double honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness in the house of David the elect. If our brothers can't get it, it's cool, you know. But it's I think it's agrarianism, which is another word for agriculture, culture. All right, which is basically it values agriculture over industry and over these liberal, viced out cities, man. All right, and there's a reason why Yahweh Shai, he always used parables going back to agriculture. But to the next time, Shalom.